Welcome to another episode, everyone. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. It goes a long way in supporting my work. And Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett absolutely grills Kristi Noem, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary, over the ICE detention deaths that have transpired as of late. Kristi Noem is evasive, but she gets absolutely destroyed at a tense Congressional Oversight Committee hearing by Jasmine Crockett, who of course lost the election. So she's still here fighting for the so-called immigrants and the individuals at these ICE detention facilities who are losing their lives. But one can make the argument, and the argument has been made, that this same community did not fight for her, at least not at the voting box. But let's get into it.
I just have a couple of questions. Are you aware that the law that was written by this Congress makes it clear that members of Congress are entitled to enter any detention?
Representative Crockett, I apologize. I have to run to vote in another committee, Secretary, and Mr. Schmidt will chair, and you will get extra 15 seconds, but I apologize for that.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much,
Mr. Chairman. Appreciate it.
Are you aware that the law makes it clear that members of Congress are allowed to enter any detention facility at any point in time in which they choose to?
Yes, I'm aware of the visitation and oversight responsibility, and we work every day to try to accommodate members of Congress while taking into account the safety of those individuals that are being detained there.
At any time, correct?
Yes, I understand there's litigation in this area.
No, that's not my question. I'm not asking you about litigation.
Yeah.
I'm asking you what the law is, because let me put it to you this way.
There's an appropriations rider that talks about
correct,
oversight.
and appropriations are law, because you are asking us to appropriate dollars right now for DHS, correct?
Correct.
And if we do that, you would take that as law, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that is what the law states, yet somehow, myself and another colleague, Congressman Castro, we ended up giving a 7-day notice to the Dilley detention facility because I had actually already gone to El Paso before. And when I went to that facility and I asked them why it was that they were requiring me to do something that specifically my branch of government had dictated was not required, they said it was because of you. They said you were the one that said that they were not allowed to allow us entry unless we gave a 7 days heads up. Is that true?
Yeah. The law specifically states oversight and visitations, and we are working to facilitate those. And we're at that time working.
Did you give the instruction that members must give a 7 days heads up or not?
We had a policy in place that allowed us to get.
Were you the one that ordered that policy?
I have a responsibility for ensuring everybody in that facility is going to be safe, and that I have adequate
no, but that's not my question, because the problem, let me tell you why we need to reclaim my time. The reason that I'm talking to you about this policy, and you're
she knows exactly the reason that she's talking to her about this policy. So here we have Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett grilling Kristi Noem. She's asking her, did you tell the individuals at this ICE detention facility not to allow Congress people in there? Congress people are going into the facility to check on these people who have been losing their lives, who are not getting food and water, who are not getting proper shelter, etc. Obama had the same cages for the immigrants. Let's not forget. Nevertheless, they are in there, and some of them are dying. Children are dying in these facilities. So the Congress they're going down to check them out, to make sure that these facilities are safe for these individuals who should not be held in there as if they are animals, but they are being held in there. We know that America has no standards when it comes to these sort of things. They'll lock you in there and throw away the key. And if you pass away, you just pass away. So Congress is going in there to check on these individuals, as they should. Kristi Noem has told the people at the facility not to allow Congress in there without a 7-day notice. Why do you need 7 days before law-abiding citizens, people of the Congress, the government, can go inside of this facility. You want to clean it up. You want to sanitize it. You want a 7-day notice to give yourself 7 days to sanitize it and make it seem as if everything is okay inside of this facility. And so Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett is saying the law states that we can go inside of this facility at any time. We don't need a 7-day notice. We can go in there at any time. We don't have to give them a 7-day heads up. You understand that. So you are then illegally, you are then breaking the law, telling them not to allow us into this facility. Kristi Noem is saying, well, basically, she's admitting to this. She's conceding that she did this, but she's saying that she did it because she wants the people inside of the facility to be safe. The children, the immigrants, the mothers, grandmothers, grandfathers, that ICE is out here on the streets snatching up and taking to these facilities. Kristi Noem is concerned about them. She's concerned about these immigrants. She's concerned about their safety, even though she's a part of the administration that is putting them in these concentration camps. Now, all of a sudden, once they get inside of these places, she's concerned about them. You are the one that put them in there. You're not concerned about their safety. So that's the reason that she's given as to why she told these people there at the facility not to allow Congress in there to check on them. She said she was worried about their safety. What is Congress going? Congress is going in there to kill them, to unalive them, to delete them. They're going there to make sure that you guys stop killing them. More people have died on Kristi Noem's watch in these ICE detention facilities than under any other DHS secretary ever. So you're not too concerned about their safety. They're dying under your watch. You're hiding something. It's why you told them not to allow these people in there, and it's illegal.
Talking to me about safety is because I did go into the Dilley detention facility. And let me tell you, they're not safe. This is why we need to conduct oversight, because your people continue. In fact, you have lost more lives in detention than anybody else. That is your record right now. So I don't expect that y'all are going to be the ones that are going to be best to keep them safe. This is why we are supposed to conduct oversight and not wait for you to give permission. In fact, after I left the Dilley facility, we were informed of a measles outbreak that was taking place in that facility. And another question I have, are you the one that ordered it to be reopened, because that facility was closed under Joe Biden?
Those facilities were opened with the new administration. I'd have to look
Okay,
and
you're
see
part
if
of the
that
new
was-
administration. Were you the one that ordered it to be open is my question.
I would have to see when it was opened, because I wasn't sworn in until 5 days after.
Okay,
the
well, it
president
was
in
reopened in
office. So
March.
I would have to look at when
It was reopened in March of last year.
Well, then I'm sure that contract would have been renewed while I was secretary.
Speaking of contracts, as I have, actually, you know what? Let me continue on this line of y'all breaking the law. Are you familiar?
Well, she let her off the hook a little bit right there. She grilled her, but she didn't she didn't get her to admit. But she made her point, which is that, again, more people have died under your watch in the detention center than under anyone else's watch. So why would you tell these people not to let us in the oversight committee? We are charged with making sure these individuals are in here safe. You're saying that you're not letting us in because you want to keep them safe from us? Our job is to keep them safe and to make sure that they're safe. You're saying not to let us in to keep them safe from us? When in actuality, more of them have died under your care than anyone else. But your reasoning, your excuse for not letting me in is that you want to keep them safe? You're not trying to keep them safe. How so? More of them have died under your care than anyone else. If you're trying to keep them safe, you're failing. You're doing a horrific job at that. You are not keeping them safe. They're dying. This is why we are there. And then you keep us out. a conspiracy, a ploy, a ruse, a scam, a setup by the administration, by the government. Immigrants are in these ICE detention facilities clearly dying. More have died under this administration than any other, under Kristi Noem's watch than any other watch. And you don't let the oversight committee in there to check it out. What are you're covering up the deaths. But we understand that this is what this administration is about. Look at all of the stuff that they covered up with the Epstein files. Have you seen what has come out? We're about to get into it.
With a child by the name of Liam Ramos.
I am.
All right, so Liam was at this Dilley facility. And it just so happened that we had put in our 7 days notice and y'all had grabbed him 6 days prior to our visit. So we were able to go and visit Liam. Are you aware of the court order that came down that released Liam from custody?
I am.
And are you aware that the judge said the case has its genesis in an ill-conceived and incompetently implemented government pursuit of daily deportation quotas, apparently even if it requires traumatizing children. This court and others regularly send undocumented people to prison and orders them deported, but do so by proper legal procedures. Are you aware of that?
Yes, and I would disagree with the judge on several
I'm sure you
points
would, but
in
can you
there.
tell me whether or not
That
you have a law degree?
Father chose to.
Can you
to
tell
have
me whether or
Liam
not you
be
have a
with
law
him.
degree?
If I have what?
A law degree.
No, I do not have a law
Okay,
degree.
and you do understand, because I can go through a bunch of court cases and orders that I disagree with from the Supreme Court, that ultimately, that is the order of the court. That is what you follow, and if you have an issue, you appeal it up, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. The court went on to say, apparent also is the government's ignorance of an American historical document called the Declaration of Independence. 33-year-old Thomas Jefferson enumerated grievances against a would-be authoritarian king over his nascent nation. Among others were, he has sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people. He has excited domestic insurrection among us, for quartering large bodies of armed troops among us. He has kept us among, in times of peace, standing armies without the consent of our legislatures. Are you aware that he wrote that? Do you know that he was writing about ICE that falls under you?
The judge?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. With that, I will yield, but I do have 2 UCs. The first UC is ICE training was slashed, records show corroborating whistleblower claims from the Washington Post on yesterday.
Without objection.
The second one is FEMA's response to Texas flood slowed by Noem's cost controls. This is out of CNN from July 10th of 2025.
Without objection.
Thank you so much.
Wow. Okay, folks, there you have it. Representing Texas 30th District, Representative Jasmine Crockett again, as we all know, she did lose the election. Now, she grilled Kristi Noem over the fact, as we just heard, that these people, again, are dying in these facilities. And Kristi Noem, the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, blocked Congress from entering the facility, said that they needed a 7-day notice, when the law states that they can enter this facility, the Oversight Committee, at any time without notice. What a venal and corrupt administration this is, from the top to the bottom. Just broke the law, just illegally denying the Oversight Committee access into the facility. And her excuse is because she wants to protect the people inside of the facility. Yet they have not been protected. In fact, they're dying, measles outbreaks and all kind of stuff. You're not protecting them. You're not trying to protect them. More have died on your watch than any other. You're doing the poorest job of protecting them. If that is your aspiration and your objective, it is not. They're all corrupt. We know this with the Epstein file release. It's just unbelievable. It's frustrating because These people are not forthcoming or forthright. They are evasive. Kristi Noem is constantly, as is Pam Bondi, constantly evasive. Can never get a straight answer out of them, ever. This is your president. This is your administration. This is what you all wanted. Let me know what you think in the comments. We're covering it all. I'm back. Stay safe and stay free, people. Power to the